Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Skillet. In this video, we're going to take a look at some important updates on the Safuu protocol. So there's been lots of exciting news surrounding this project lately, and I talked about some of the new developments in the last video I did on Safuu a couple weeks ago. But since then, there have been some other very cool things happening with this project, and I'm going to tell you all about what's going on. But first, I've got to say, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing my thoughts, experiences, and opinions. So always do your own research and invest at your own risk. All right, with that out of the way, let's get down to it, shall we? So if you watched my last video on Safuu, or if you've been keeping up with the Safuu protocol, you'll know that Safuu will soon be launching its very own layer 1 blockchain called SafuuX, and the SafuuX token will be the native currency of that blockchain. Now, this is the world's first auto-rebasing layer 1 blockchain, and this launch has gotten the entire community really excited because it's such a huge step forward for the project, and it has tremendous potential to vastly grow the entire Safuu ecosystem. Now, in my last Safuu video, I covered many of the details regarding the launch of SafuuX, but since I made that video, a few changes have been made, and the CEO of Safuu, Brian Legend, has posted some announcements that are important to know about. So I'm going to share them with you here. So if we hop over to the Safuu Discord, you'll see here first that the core Safuu team is going to be going to Dubai to attend two major crypto events. So on October 5th and 6th, they're going to be at the Crypto Expo, and from October 10th through the 13th, they're going to be at the Future Blockchain Summit. Now, SafuuX is locked in as the main primary sponsor of the Crypto Expo, and that is really fantastic because that means the SafuuX logo is going to be plastered everywhere. They specifically list the entrance arch, ceilings, walls, floors, ushers wearing the SafuuX gear, etc. And they even say that they're going to have SafuuX flyers on all audience chairs. So that's really great for spreading the brand awareness for SafuuX. And even better, they announced that Brian Legend, the CEO, will be live on stage as a keynote speaker at both events. And that is just tremendous because there are going to be so many heavy hitters in the crypto world that will be attending these events. And to have the SafuuX brand just plastered everywhere and to have Brian Legend as a keynote speaker is really going to do a lot to generate a huge amount of interest into SafuuX. And the team has spoken about this in some various AMAs, and I even heard Brian say that Binance is going to be there, and in fact, Binance is going to be in a booth directly across from Safuu. And, you know, at these huge crypto events in Dubai, not only are there going to be huge whale investors and potential investors there that are going to be hearing all about SafuuX, but there are also going to be a lot of crypto project developers there as well. And of course, it's a great thing to have projects onboarded onto the SafuuX blockchain. And so I'm sure there will be many project developers that will become interested in launching their projects on the Safuu blockchain after hearing about it at these events as well. So all of that is just really great. Now, because of how huge this opportunity is from a marketing and branding perspective, an announcement has also been made that the SafuuX launch dates were pushed back so that the sacrifice event could start after these crypto events in Dubai. So again, those crypto events were in early and mid-October, and then now the sacrifice event is going to start on October 20th, and it's going to run through November 20th. So that sounds like a really great idea to get lots and lots of hype and exposure around the SafuuX project and around the launch of the blockchain, and then immediately after that have the sacrifice event, and that should get a lot of investors involved. Now, that also means that they have pushed forward the testnet and mainnet launch dates. And that's actually a good thing if you're a Safuu holder because that's going to give you additional time to have your Safuu tokens rebase. And of course, the longer it rebases, the more tokens you accumulate, and the more tokens that you accumulate, the more tokens you can sacrifice, and ultimately the more SafuuX tokens you'll end up with. Now, another important announcement, they have updated the amount of nodes that they are making available. So for the full nodes, they have increased it to 500, and for light nodes, they've got 1,500 now. And they also tell us that all node owners will also now no longer have any restrictions. Every node will gain full rebases just like a normal SafuuX coin holder. And now I won't go into all the details about the full nodes versus the light nodes, But I will say that for the full nodes, you must be whitelisted, and that means that you must be a Safuu holder from, I believe it was March through May. So that's when you had to have bought in, and those full nodes cost around $50,000 worth of Safuu. So you have to have $50,000 worth of Safuu, and you have to be whitelisted. Now for the light nodes, those are costing just under $500. I believe it's $490, and you don't have to be whitelisted to get those. So maybe I'll make a future video where I specifically go into more detail about the full nodes, but I just wanted to update you guys that they have increased the capacity for these nodes. Now let's talk a little bit about the sacrifice event. So the sacrifice event is kind of the very beginning of this whole transition to the SafuuX project. Now again, as I mentioned in my previous video about this, you don't have to sacrifice your Safuu tokens. If you want to continue to hold Safuu tokens, the BEP20 tokens on the Binance Smart Chain, then you're certainly welcome to. However, the team are shifting their focus completely to SafuuX. So all of their marketing efforts and all of their development efforts are going to be focused on SafuuX. So they do encourage you to sacrifice your Safuu tokens for SafuuX. Now, it isn't only Safuu BEP20 tokens that you can sacrifice. You can also sacrifice other types of tokens as well. So they list here Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, FTM, XRP, Solana, Polkadot, AVAX, Matic, Doge, SHIB, and USDT, USDC, BUSD stablecoins. All of those can be sacrificed for SafuuX. However, there are some benefits that are afforded to Safuu holders who are sacrificing their Safuu tokens that are not afforded to holders of these other types of coins that are sacrificing them for SafuuX. And I'll get into that in just a minute. Now, it's important to know also that the sacrifice event is going to be broken down into stages, where the earliest sacrificers on day one will be eligible for up to a 50% multiplier. And then that multiplier decreases over time with each passing day, and that reduces the amount of SafuuX that you will receive. So in other words, the earlier you sacrifice, the better rate of value for SafuuX you will gain, and the quicker you will start earning rebases. Now, if you sacrifice on day one, you're going to get a 50% multiplier regardless of what kind of coin you're sacrificing. So you could be sacrificing Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Safuu, or any of those other coins that I mentioned before, and you're going to get that 50% multiplier. Now, if you're sacrificing Safuu tokens, you will get an additional 15% multiplier on top of that. And additionally, you will not have to pay any sell tax. So that is saving you an additional 16%. So your total savings as a Safuu holder come out to 81%. So that's a great incentive if you're going to be sacrificing your Safuu tokens to do it as early as possible on day one if you can. Now, another important note about the APY earnings for SafuuX. So it tells us here in the updated light paper, the start of the 191,888% APY rebase being paid to SafuuX holders will begin after the sacrifice event. So the sacrifice event, again, it lasts from October 20th through November 20th. Now, during that time, you will not be getting any rebases yet because they're still giving everyone a chance to sacrifice their tokens. And then after it's done on November 20th, the rebase will begin at that rate. Now, after the sacrifice event is over on November 20th, the next phase that the project will enter is the testnet phase. And during this time period, you really can't do a lot with your tokens. You won't really be able to access them or sell them from your wallet until the mainnet phase. Okay, and that is set to begin at the end of January 2023. So at that point, you will have had lots of time for your SafuuX tokens to accumulate rebases, and your bag will be a lot bigger once the mainnet is live and fully operational. Now, that fixed APY rebase of 191,888% is going to last for 8 months. Then after that 8-month period, it goes into what they're calling fixed flex APY. So the fixed part of that is going to be a 38% fixed APR rebase. And then the flex part of that is a flexible reward component that can be up to a maximum of 3.14% per day. Now, this reward is paid from the transaction fees alone, so this isn't a rebase. This is added on top of the rebase, okay? So anything that goes above that maximum 3.14% per day out of those transaction fees is going to be burned directly into the SafuuX fire pit. So the maximum achievable fixed flex percentage comes out to 3.24% daily. Now that is really fantastic, and the total amount of that fixed flex percentage depends on the chain volume, because the flexible rewards are a result of the transaction fees. So the more volume on the chain, the higher the rewards up to that maximum amount. So that is another reason why it's really great to have other projects on the SafuuX blockchain. And that's yet another reason why it's great that the Safuu team are doing all of this huge marketing, like going to these events in Dubai and plastering the SafuuX banners in the train system in London and having a racing team and all of these things that they're doing. So the future is looking bright for this project. Again, as with anything, I don't have a crystal ball and there's no way to know for sure if any project is going to succeed, but I really like to see the ambition from this team and the fact that they're branching out and doing so much to try to expand this project and to continually grow this ecosystem is a really, really good sign, and it makes me very bullish on this project. So I hope these updates were helpful to you guys. If it was, make sure you smash the like button. It helps out the channel and it helps this video get pushed to other people who need to hear this information. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Okay guys, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.